What is up, everyone? Movie Wayne back again with another Blu-ray of 4K update. This is me going over all the movies I've bought in the past few weeks, and this is a pretty big one. I mean, it might be my biggest, if not one of the biggest. Two reasons for that. One of them is because I watched every Blu-ray in my collection that I needed to watch. I was only really buying films that I'd seen because I wanted to get through all my unwatched movies and conquer my collection. Finally done that. And then I just had this urge to go out and buy lots of new movies. So I've got a new to watch list now, but I'm not ever gonna let it get to the number it got to. There was like 100 on there at one point. I have seen about half of these I've bought. There's about half I haven't yet. But there was some movies on that list that were just on there for like 4 years. You know, it was really doing me head in, and I just wanted to get it done. Now the other reason is because 6 of these Blu-rays, I actually won them in the competition on Twitter, and I just want to thank you, Criterion and Empire Magazine, for their little collab they done. I think it was like a Halloween type competition because I think they're all like horror movies. But I got them kind of late. It was like 2 weeks later because they were waiting on one film to ship to me. But I'm just thankful I won. I hardly ever win anything, so it was just really nice, you know, to win these Criterions. What a label they are as well. I got my first Criterion in the last Blu-ray update, and I plan to get a lot more now, especially with these ones added. So I'm going to start with them Criterion. So once again, Criterion and Empire Magazine, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity and let me win these. Now the first one I got here is a movie I did own, but not on Criterion, and that is Night of the Living Dead. I've only ever seen this film once, and I really did plan on watching it again anyway before I even won this. I was actually going to pick this up not long ago, but I've won it now, so yeah, happy to have this in the collection. I'm really looking forward to watching this again. It's a horror classic, isn't it? From George A. Romero, which started his famous trilogy, if you like. I know he's added more films to that now, but the first 3 were the famous ones, and this is the film that gives us the zombies we know and love today, really, isn't it? But I remember really liking this, but I'm really looking forward to going back and watching this again. So that is Night of the Living Dead. Ton of features on there, like Criterion usually do. So yeah, I mean that there is all the features. So yeah, Night of the Living Dead, nice little box set there. I would open them up, but there's just so many movies to go through here. So yeah, I'm sure there's people online who've opened that up anyway. Next up is another film I did own, but not on Criterion, and that is Eraserhead from one of my favourite directors of all time, David Lynch. I think this might be his first film. I couldn't get into this at all when I first watched it, but I always wanted to go back and rewatch it because so many people love this film, and I knew there was something there. I just wasn't prepared the first time for what I was in store for. And this is definitely his weirdest movie for me. I know he's done some weird ones, but this is definitely his weirdest for me. But I'm really looking forward to giving it a go again, especially on this Criterion release. Lots of new special features on there as well. So really happy to own that one as well. Next up is The Uninvited. I think this is a haunted house movie. I've never seen it. I have seen them too, but these next 4 Criterions I haven't seen. But it sounded interesting from the back. I'm pretty sure it's a haunted house movie. Oh yeah, in Cornwall, on a cliff edge. Sounds like a cool location. But I don't know too much about it. But yeah, I will definitely give it a watch, of course. Next up is one that sounded really interesting actually, and that is the Damned. I think it's something to do with Nazis. Something when Hitler takes over or something, but it's a horror film. I love the cover. Really nice and artistic. I think I've looked it up online, and it is meant to be a really good movie. But I kind of don't want to know too much about it anyway. Same with The Uninvited. And one more here, because I wanna go into it kind of blind. Sometimes it's better to just go into them films like that, isn't it? Next up is one that I've wanted to see for a very long time. I do know about this one, and that is The Night of the Hunter. I've heard this is a really good film. It's that guy with love-hate on his knuckles. I think he's like a killer going around or something. But I remember having this horror movie book, and this was saying it was a classic film, one that you need to watch, and I've wanted to see it for a long time. And when Criterion brought it out, I was like, oh, there's that movie that was in that book, and yeah, like I said, I was meaning to pick it up, but I'm just glad I've won it now anyway. So yeah, glad to have that one in the collection. I'll probably be watching this very, very soon. Next up is another one called Death in Venice. Don't know too much about it, to be honest, but someone on Twitter wrote to me. Oh no, I put these on my Instagram, and someone said that this is a really good film. So looking forward to it. I think it was something. It's like a mystery movie in Venice, I think, but I'm not too certain. Like I said, probably want to go into this knowing as less as possible anyway. So there is the Criterion Blu-rays that I won. Thank you so much, Criterion and Empire Magazine, once again for that. Now, next up we have a 4K box set that I have wanted for a very long time. I done a top 10 movies I have never seen, and I put 2 franchises in there, cheated a little bit. One of them was the Fast and Furious. Yeah, I only ever seen the first movie, and the other one was this. Paulie from Big Paulie Chatting Movies was selling this because he's picked up the Steelbook edition. So I said, go on, I'll grab it off you. And as soon as I grabbed it, Argos started selling it for way less. So a lot of people probably picked this up this month. But that is the Harry Potter 8-film collection. Me and my fiance are planning on watching all of these over Christmas. I've seen the first 2. I've seen half the third one. Haven't seen the others. So I'm looking forward to it. I know this is probably a box set I need in my collection if you're going to be a movie collector. You've got to have the Harry Potter box set in there, I suppose, haven't you? But I'm really looking forward to this. I am. I think this will be quite a fun time. So really happy to own it. I've wanted it for such a long time now. I'm not bothered about Steelbooks too much. Although there is one in here in a bit, and I'll tell you why I picked it up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I know I'm going to have a good time with these. A lot of people love these movies. Next up is a film I have showed on the channel before, because I've done an unboxing of it, and that is Deep Red from Dario Argento. I haven't seen this one yet, but when Arrow released this on 4K, I knew I had to grab it, because it's a movie that's always intrigued me. I've always been fascinated by this cover and stuff. The poster looks really interesting, and there's a few people who've told me that they really enjoy this film. So yeah, looking forward to getting around to it. Like I said, I had a lot of movies on my list that I just weren't interested in my Blu-ray collection, but I watched them all anyway. Like I said at the start of the video, I've got them all watched, but I'm really picking up movies now that I really want to see, and this is one of them. So I'm not just going to pick up any old crap apart from the odd 1 or 2 titles really. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, especially on 4K. These next 2 films were sent to me by Leon from Leon Talks Film, whose link I'll leave down below. He sent me these after seeing my top 10 movies list that I hadn't seen. And one of them was on that list, and that is Logan. Sorry, Leon, I still haven't watched this one yet, but I'm looking forward to getting around to it. Heard so many great things about this movie. Heard it's like a bit of an X-Men in the Wild West type film. I know there's a noir version, which is on here as well. So if I like the movie, I'll probably watch that as well. I've never actually seen a modern noir film, I don't think. I know Mad Max Fury Road has one as well. But I enjoyed the last one, the Wolverine. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. So Leon, thank you so much for sending me that. And he also sent me one of my favourite films of the year, Cruella. I think he got it in like that deal that was going around, the 2 for 24. So Leon, thank you so much for this, mate. I absolutely adore this movie. I thought it's in my, I think I've got a 4th in my top, my 2021 ranking list on Letterboxd there. Emma Stone is fabulous in this. Emma Thompson is great. It's kind of like a Joker movie, but instead it's Cruella. It kind of works out that way, where she has this arc from the start of the film to the end where she's this totally different character. The hair and makeup design in this movie is amazing. The visual look to it from the 70s is great, like this punk rock era. Cruella is such a good film. I'm so happy to own this on 4K. Thank you so much, Leon, for sending me them, mate. Next up is another film that's one of my favourites from the year, Mortal Kombat. HMV were having that 20% off thing, and I just seen this and went, I'll grab that. Here's my chance. It was going for 20 quid, so I got it for like 16. I was a big Mortal Kombat fan back in the day of the video games, and I was really looking forward to this film. I liked it. I thought it was good. It was a good, enjoyable movie. Kano was a great character in this. Really like the arc that Scorpion has going in this. It's kind of like Scorpion's Revenge, same type of story, where he comes after Sub-Zero and stuff. But some great violent moments in here, especially Shao. Is it Shao? What's his name? What's his name? Shang Tsung, is it? Shang Tsung? The one with the hat that spins round, it cuts someone in half, that's great. Love that moment. Kung Lao. My mind just goes blank on camera. Kung Lao, I love that moment in this. Great movie. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I did. I thought it was great. I think you have to be a bit of a Mortal Kombat fan to appreciate it. Next up is one of the best films I've seen in a long time. La La Land. I'm not a big fan of musicals at all, but I heard so many great things about this and I knew I had to grab it, and it was 2 for 30 in HMV. So I grabbed this and I watched it and thought it was absolutely incredible. This is the best, or one of the best musicals I have ever seen, even though it had less songs in it than I thought it would. There's only like 3 or 4 songs in this. It's more story driven, but Emma Stone, once again, who I've just mentioned in Cruella, she was great in that, but I think she was a little bit better than this. She is an elite actress. She is just great to watch. She's fantastic in this, alongside Ryan Gosling. Damien Chazelle, I've watched 2 of his films now, and they've both been amazing. This and Whiplash. I need to check out First Man next. Fantastic film. I absolutely love this. So happy to own it on 4K. Next up is another 4K, the one I got with the 2 for 30 deal, The Fifth Element. I seen a little bit of this film when I was a kid, but I can't remember any of it. I think it was when Chris Tucker just screams. That's all I can really remember. And I read the back and went, wow, this movie sounds great. I've heard a lot of people say that they enjoy this, and I thought, you know what, there's not really anything else jumping out at me along with La La Land here. There weren't too many titles to pick from. I thought, you know, I'm just going to grab that. My dad's a big fan of this movie. He loves it. Got some big stars in here. Gary Oldman, Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich from the Resident Evil films. I'm really looking forward to it. I am. Luc Besson film. I think he made Leon, which is a great movie. Looking forward to checking this out. Next up is a movie I upgraded to 4K. And I always said I wasn't going to do this, but this is the second time I've done it now. I bought Clockwork Orange on 4K, which was in my last Blu-ray update. By the way, if you want to watch any of them, they'll be down below. But this is one of my most watched movies of all time. And Amazon were doing a Black Friday deal for a tenner. I had to grab it. And that is Speed. Now, I've had a little look at this and it looks great. Especially some moments more than others. Especially when it's close-ups of characters and stuff. You can just see everything. Every detail on the face. But I'm really looking forward to watching this again in 4K. I've got this urge to watch it again. Even though I've seen it like 50 times. I'm not even joking. I used to have this VHS on constantly as a kid, and it's basically Keanu Reeves. He's got to get on this bus, and if it drops below 50, it blows up, because this mad bomber, Dennis Hopper, has put a bomb on the bus. It's so fast-paced, hectic, frantic movie. I love Keanu Reeves in this. This is my favourite role of his ever. I love this movie to death. It's one of my favourite films of all time. I couldn't not grab it. So yeah, I'm going down that rabbit hole now of buying 4Ks that I already own on Blu-ray. Silly Jordan. No, but I think if you're going to watch that a hell of a lot of times again, which I will, best to have the 4K. Next up is a film I seen in CEX. It was going really cheap. And I've heard mixed things on this, but I looked on Letterboxd just before I bought it, and it was getting like 3 out of 5s mostly, so I thought, you know what, £6, I'll grab that. Nice slipcover with it as well, even though I'm not desperate for slipcovers. It was just like a no-brainer. That is Liam Neeson in Cold Pursuit. Read the back of it actually, and it's like I think it's a big revenge film that it all takes place in the cold, snowy mountains. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a bit of an easy watch, to be honest. So yeah, looking forward to this. Hopefully it's decent. I mean, if it is bad, then silly me, but I only went with what the people were saying on Letterboxd and decided that tipped me over the edge a little bit there. But I still haven't seen that one yet. Next up is a film I have wanted to see for a very, very long time. I don't know why I didn't watch it when it came out. I don't know why. But that is Dumbo on 4K. This was going for £7 on Amazon, and I just grabbed it straight away. I think Tim Burton has his careers going on. His films are getting less in quality, if you like. I'm a massive fan of the Batman 1989 movie, or 1990, whatever you want to say it comes out. I conflicts online every time I look that movie up, what year it come out. But Dumbo is a Disney cartoon that I like, so I'm looking forward to checking this live action version out. Danny DeVito, I always have fun with that guy when he's on the screen. I think he's such a fun actor. So yeah, I mean, I haven't heard great things, but I always make my own mind up. Even though I did look at reviews on Letterboxd of Cold Pursuit, it was just to give me an idea. Next up is another Disney film, and this is an animated one on 4K. I watched this for the first time when the live action movie came out last year, just to prepare myself, and that is Mulan. One of the better Disney animated films I think that they've made. This again was on a Black Friday deal, so I grabbed it. I own a live action version, which I do like. One of the best looking 4Ks out there, by the way. But I didn't own this on Blu-ray, so when the 4K come out, I thought, well, I might as well grab it on 4K one day instead of the Blu-ray. And now I finally own it. Basically about this girl who goes into the army full of men, and she has to disguise herself as a man because she doesn't want her sick father to go and do battle, basically. So she takes his place. This dragon's really fun, actually. A really fun Disney character, so glad to own Mulan. I think we're just over halfway, guys. There's still quite a few titles to go here. Next up is another 2020 film. Yeah, not that I've spoke about any 2020 films, I don't think. I was more in reference to Mulan, the live action version there. But this came out the same year. Oh, did it? Yeah, it did, because everything was pushed back with the pandemic, wasn't it? So yeah, this reminds me of the same type of Mulan, the live action version, because they were both pushed back. Wonder Woman 1984. I thought that had different artwork, but it doesn't. Definitely not as good as the first Wonder Woman. This has a lot of problems, but it was going really cheap, and I thought, you know what, I'll grab it. I didn't dislike the movie, but I didn't love it. I would give it another go. I think I liked it a little bit more back when I watched it, just because it was like the first movie I think I watched when the cinemas opened again. That added a lot of experience to the experience. But yeah, I'm a bit of a completionist. I own the first one. I wanted to grab this, especially at a low price. I will watch it again at some point. Next up is another 2020 film. One of the better ones, actually. I think this came out before the pandemic hit. And that is Bad Boys for Life. Now, I'm not bothered about slipcovers, like I said, but I did want a slipcover with this one when I ordered it online, because I own the other two and they have slipcovers, but what can you do? Not the end of the world. I've been waiting for this to come in a deal for a while now, but I think this is the best Bad Boys movie, I'm not going to lie. I think the second isn't very good. I think it's a very average action movie. But the first is really decent, but this one for me, I thought it was the best one. I thought it had a great story, surprised the hell out of me. These two just jumped back into the roles. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really funny movie and a great story, and the villain was decent as well, this assassin who's in the film. So yeah, I enjoyed this. This took me by surprise when I went to see it. That was one of the first films I ever reviewed on the channel. I think it was like the third or fourth movie I ever reviewed. So yeah. Yeah, what I'll do, I've got a Cruella review and stuff as well on this channel. So some of these I have reviewed. I'll leave my reviews down below. My 2020 and 2021 movie reviews down below if you want to check them out. Next up is a film I've never seen. I've seen the first one. And everyone's going to just like turn the video off now because they can't believe I haven't seen this. John Wick 2. Yeah. I don't know why it's took me so long to get round to this franchise. I watched the first one as well about a year ago, so you think I would have watched this second one by now, but yeah, I finally got it into the collection. I really enjoyed the first, I did, I thought it was a great movie, and I'm hoping this can rectify that. I've heard it's not as good as the first, and I've heard the third is the best. But, you know, conflicting opinions, isn't it? But I'm looking forward to this. Keanu Reeves, such a good actor, and I thought he was kick-ass in these movies, so... Okay, now we're getting on to a few 101 film releases. These are all Blu-rays from now on. They're all the 4Ks out the way. And this one I did watch. I thought it was great. And that is Tammy and the T-Rex. So Leon, who I was talking about before, like when this movie come out, I just thought that looks terrible. I'm not picking that up. But Leon, who I was speaking about before, and also John Perry from Mondo Chelovic Movies, whose link I will leave down below along with Leon's, both spoke about this movie very highly in their videos. And I thought, okay, it went on sale on Black Friday. So I thought, okay, I'm going to grab it. Now this comes in one of them boxes, you know, the 101 Films box with the, you know, the booklet and stuff. I love these little editions. Every single film I've watched on these 101 black labels has been brilliant. And this was no exception. I thought it was great. I had such a fun time with this. Denise Richards and Paul Walker are both in this movie as youngsters. And I'm going to tell you this concept now and you won't believe it, but Paul Walker is killed by this gang of bullies, this Denise Richards' ex-boyfriend and his gang. So they transport his brain into the robotic T-Rex and he seeks revenge as the T-Rex. What more do you want in a movie? Trust me, this is such a fun time. I had a great time with this. If you like bad movies that are good and just totally... I wouldn't even say it's a bad movie, that it's good. It's just total cheese fest from the 80s there. I say 80s, it's 1994, believe it or not. I've just seen this on the cover. Give this a go. It's a fun time. It's only 90 minutes long. And you can just sit back and chill and just laugh your ass off at it. I love this film. Thank you so much, Leon and John, for the recommendation there. Next up is another 101 Films release. Now, I wanted to buy this when it first come out. But like I said, I was just trying to get through all the movies that I had unwatched in my Blu-ray collection. And this is Hell Night. Now, this was also an offer on the Black Friday sale for $9.99, and I jumped at the chance. I just bought it straight away. This got Linda Blair in. I haven't watched this yet, but I always used to see it in the video shop all the time. And every time I looked at it, I thought, that cover looks really good. I want to watch that. And I think they have to spend the night in this haunted house or something. Or there's a killer going around in the house. But yeah, like I said, you got the booklet and stuff in there. I think this is a different cover on the front. I love that cover, by the way. I think it's better than this one, but yeah. Sorry if you can see them. But I haven't watched it yet. I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. Like I said, I had my eye on it for years in the video shop, so glad to own that one. Next up is a film that my dad recommended to me years ago. It's from 2003, and just never watched it. But I am a fan of the main actor in this because he's great in Fargo, and that is the Cooler. And when I read the back, it sounded like a cool concept, like he's always down on his luck, and then his luck starts to become better. But when he starts working in this casino and stuff, but I don't know too much about the movie. I haven't watched it yet. But you get, you know, the standard, you know, just the Blu-ray and the scene cover and the book. I really do like these 101 film releases, I do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. This is also in the Black Friday deal. William H. Macy, like I said, I'm a fan of him. Alec Baldwin in there as well. So yeah, looking forward to this one. By the way, 101 Films have just announced that they are bringing out a film called The Snowtown Murders. Now, that's the proper name for it, but I think they've just called their version Snowtown and gone with the US title, I believe. I recommend picking that up if you want a dirty, gritty feel of a movie that you can't take your eyes off. I'd give it a go. It's coming out on the 22nd of January. I'm going to be grabbing it myself. Next up is the Steelbook that I mentioned before. Now, this is the only movie that I don't fancy in all this collection I picked up. But the more I looked at it and read the back, it did intrigue me a little bit. But this is a Steelbook that I picked up for £1 in One Below. and that is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy with Gary Oldman, and it's got Mark Strong in there, Tom Hardy, John Hurt, Benedict Cumberbatch. I couldn't say no. I could not say no to this steelbook for £1. I just couldn't. Yeah, it is there. I just had to grab it. Now, I don't know if the movie's any good. I've heard it is decent, but not as good as it should have been. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this. I'll reply to you all, I promise, I always do. But for £1, I had to grab this. I had to. But I haven't watched it yet. Next up is 2 films I've just reviewed on the channel in a review roundup video. I bought these just before Halloween, and I was very misled by the title, but that is The Batman The Long Halloween Part 1 and Batman The Long Halloween Part 2. And why I say it's misled is because I thought this was all going to take place in Halloween, and it starts off on Halloween and then goes to every other different holiday like Christmas and New Year, because there's a killer going around called Holiday who just kills people on holiday, on you know, days of the holiday. So like if Valentine's Day comes around, he'll kill people then. Cool concept. I just thought it was all going to take place on Halloween, that's all. I enjoyed these. I enjoy a lot of these Batman animated films, to be honest. I should have held it that way, really, because yeah, kind of cool. I enjoyed these Batman animated films that are more intended for adults and stuff. The Joker and Batman voice acting in this is great. But yeah, I'm glad to own them. There's some more Batman animated ones I want to pick up. But these were fun. I give them a 7 out of 10 in that review video. I just reviewed them as one movie. It's kind of good, actually, watching them as a 3-hour epic. They're both like an hour and a half long each, but if you watch them back to back, it's really, really good time. This was a video that I done, my top 10 most nostalgic films. Okay, so films I used to watch from my childhood, and I said I wish this was on Blu-ray, and a lot of people from the community pointed me in the direction where to get this from. I got this for £10, and it's a trilogy box. Well, it's a Blu-ray case with the trilogy of films in. Problem Child 1, 2 and 3. I absolutely adore these movies. I used to watch them constantly. I just think it's so funny. Like, this movie is 15, but there's so much childish humour in there, but there's so much adult humour as well. It doesn't quite know its audience. Such a fun bunch of films. Seeing Junior Healy just get up to all sorts. He's a troublesome kid, but every other character in the film is a bigger arsehole than him. So you sort of root for him. Apart from his poor dad, who just has this terrible time trying to look after him. But yeah, 3 is the weakest one, but I still have a good time with it. I'm so happy to own this. Thank you to everyone who pointed me in the right direction for the website Rarewaves, where I got this from. £10. So happy to own these now. So I done a top 10 movies I haven't seen. I think I mentioned it when I talked about Logan. And this one was also in it. And you know what? I just thought, I seen it in HMV and thought, here's my chance. I'm just going to grab it now, because I want to see this movie anyway. And that is Reanimator. Now, I have swapped this cover art over. Okay, so you got this cover art. But I didn't really like the original cover art that they had. It's okay, but I definitely prefer the one I'm using. So yeah. I'll just get it back in there real quick. I really had a good time with this. I thought it was a nice, fun, cheesy 80s horror movie. And I can see why it's considered a little bit of a classic by some people. Basically about this guy, Herbert West. On the front of the cover here, I'll fix that cover in a minute. He has the ability to bring the dead back to life with this little serum he's got. And when they come back to life, they are like this crazy zombies who try to kill people. It's kind of like Pet Sematary in a way, if you like. But I had such a fun time with this. Fun practical effects. Especially like the character who's going around holding his head by his stomach there. Just really funny to watch. A great horror comedy. I enjoyed it. I'm thinking about maybe going back to this, watching it again and doing a horror revisited review on it, because it's a classic and a lot of people love that. Now this should have been on the top 10 movies I haven't seen, because you won't believe your eyes when I show this one. that I haven't seen it. I've seen little snippets of it when I was younger, but it's The Addams Family. Seen this for really cheap in CEX and just grabbed it at the opportunity. And that same day, everyone was posting that they picked up the 4K, but it is only a US version anyway, so not too bothered about that. But yeah, Addams Family, haven't watched it yet. I'm looking on picking up Addams Family Values as well now to complete the set, but I'm looking forward to watching it. I am. So yeah, Addams Family, still haven't seen it. Next up is a film that was kind of a blind buy. I just read the back and went for it. This is in CEX, and that is Fracture. Now, this basically is a courtroom drama by the sounds of it. I think Anthony Hopkins has killed his wife or something, and Ryan Gosling has to defend them or prosecute him, one or the other. I do like a good courtroom drama, and with these two great actors in, I couldn't say no. It was really, really cheap, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to grab that. I'm pretty sure I heard someone a while ago say it was a good film, but I'm not certain. Next up is a movie that was sent to me by Carl from Carlini09, channel link down below. And we were talking in our group when the new Ghostbusters film came out, and I said I've never seen that 2016 one. I just never fancied it at the time. I was going through a little phase there of really being down about cinema because Batman vs Superman had come out, and then the sequel was Justice League, and I just weren't interested in that. And then this come out, and I was like, what's happening with movies at the minute? Because I thought, why don't they just make a proper sequel? But that is Ghostbusters, the 2016 version, and I watched this last night. I had a fun time with it. I know it really took me by surprise. I know a lot of people hate this movie, rightly so. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, die hard, you're gonna hate this film. I think I probably would have disliked it at the time if I watched it, but now time has passed and we've got Ghostbusters Afterlife, and we've got that proper sequel there. Be more forgiving with this film, and it does have a ton of problems, like some dialogue and stuff. But there's a lot to like here as well. Kristen Wiig is great in this. I thought she's so funny. I enjoyed it. It's a fun movie. You know, it's not terrible. Some people who say this is the worst film of all time, it's not. It's not. It's a fun movie with problems. But I give it 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Sorry, Ghostbusters fans, but I didn't mind it. Next up is a film I have seen a long time ago, and that is Run, Fat Boy, Run. This was in One Below. Simon Pegg has to try and win his ex-wife back, and he's going to show her that he's as athletic as her new boyfriend by running this marathon that her new boyfriend is running in. But a new boyfriend's an arsehole, basically. He's David off Friends, if you remember, who's also in Night at the Museum. I thought this was a fun little comedy when I watched it back in the day. Nice little heartwarming story with lots of comedic elements. It's a decent film. For £1, I won't say no. And last up from One Below, and the last movie, well, it's not even a movie, it's a TV show, out this collection is Breaking Bad, the complete 4th season. Now, I do own nearly all of these now. I just need the 1st season and Series 5 Part 1. And I've got them all. And I needed this one as well, and it was £1. And I just went, yeah, thank you very much. Didn't even think twice. So I've nearly got these all on Blu-ray now. It's a great show, Breaking Bad. I do think it's slightly overrated. I've seen better crime shows, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was great. But yeah, just not as good as what everyone makes it out. But it is good. It is a very good show. So glad to own that one as well. But thank you so much, everyone. Finally got there in the end. I really enjoyed picking all these movies up. Some great deals in the Black Friday deals. What do you think of these movies? Did you pick up any movies from the Black Friday sales? Leave it in the comments down below. I will reply to you all, I promise. And for more videos, please subscribe to this channel. I'll have another Blu-ray 4K update, probably at the end of December. A lot of people ask me if there's any movies I want for Christmas, so there should be quite a few there as well. Take it up. Oh, and don't forget to check out the unboxing of Deep Red down below, Leon and John's channel. All of the Blu-ray 4K updates, my nostalgic movies, and 10 movies I've never seen. They'll all be down below. Take it all easy, guys. I'll see you all next video.